Hello, hello, my beautiful friends. Okay, I'm super excited and also super humbled to be chatting with you today. I'm not gonna lie, this is it's fresh, it's raw. I haven't said anything to anyone yet, so you guys are gonna be the first ones hearing it from me. But my baby drank bleach today. And she's fine. She's fine. And I'm here, obviously. So she's fine and we're fine. But long story short, just because for the panicking, all the people, just a little backstory that I'll keep super brief. She pooped in the tub a couple days ago. I cleaned out the tub with bleach, cleaned the toys with bleach, let the bleach water drain, but I forgot to rinse out the toys. And this morning I was getting ready. I was totally like, I'm on top of the world, like I'm such a rockin' mom. I woke up at 4. I've already done my prayer, my scripture studies. I've already written in my gratitude journal. I'm like slaying. I've already folded and put away a load of laundry and started a load of laundry. I got a walk in for 75 hard. Like I got my husband out the door. I had a healthy breakfast. I read my book, my kids' 5 books, like I'm on top of the world. I'm getting ready. Like things are good, right? And I was listening to a coaching call this morning, and it was just, a very normal, like my 1.5-year-old is just squawking at my feet, wants me to hold her or whatever. But I was like trying to get ready and trying to listen to this call. So I just put her in the tub like I do all the time for her to play with the toys like I do all the time, not remembering in the moment that I hadn't rinsed the toys out yet. And there was a bowl that still had bleach water in it. And thankfully it was diluted. It was very, very diluted, but she was doing the whole thing. Okay. She's 18 months old, you guys. Oh my gosh. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to get my other kids to get in the car so we could go to the emergency room, so fast, trying to Alexa, what do I do if my baby drank bleach? I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I was trying to get her to drink water. Oh, it was so terrible. And thankfully, for reasons unbeknownst to me, Blake came home, literally right at that exact moment. Okay. And I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that God knows who I am. And I'm sad that God knew that was going to happen today. But at the same time, I'm grateful he knew, because I needed Blake to be home at that exact moment, because he took over with the older two. So me and Ellie just went. And I was on the phone with poison control as we drove to the ER. Okay. And, I got pulled over because I was speeding. And I didn't have my license with me. It was a great morning. It was fine. The officer ended up escorting me to the hospital. She's fine. Poison control said, based on her symptoms, that she's totally okay. Just to watch her, make sure, whatever, right? Okay. So she ate, she drank, she's fine. She's taking a nap right now. Okay. Everything is normal. Okay. So I was faced with this decision though. We got home and Blake took the rest of the day off, because he was like, what do you need from me? How can I help you type thing? And I was like, well, I don't even know what to do. Do I just keep doing all my Mondays are a really busy day for me, coaching wise, and with my podcast, they're just a really busy day for me. And so I was like, do I just pretend nothing happened and just keep going about my day like it's a normal day? And he was like, well, what's your alternative? And I was like, I don't know, mope and feel sorry for myself and just wallow in this mom guilt and this self-pity stuff. And even just saying it out loud, obviously I was like, okay, yeah, no, clearly, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to choose that. So he was like, okay, well, what can I do to help you? And so I just prayed. I went in my room by myself and said a prayer. And Steph just joined, and she might feel a little lost because she missed the beginning story. But long story short, Ellie drank bleach today. And so I was just sharing a little bit of that story. So go watch the recording for the full stories. I don't have to repeat myself for the recording people. But so he was like, okay, so what are you going to do? Like, and so I went and said a prayer, and then I just like, we just sat and I just like played with her. And it just really got me thinking. And like all day today, I was like, what am I even going to talk about on the nutrition bootcamp call? Because a lot of times I have like ideas based on what you guys are talking about and sharing with me. And, but I was like, I got nothing. Like I got nothing. And then like 10 minutes ago, I literally laid down, just like rested and meditated for a second. And then I just like woke up from my like literally 5-minute power nap and was just like, Bryn, talk about this. Talk about what to do when life gets hard, because I have heard so many people, like I have so many friends and challengers and coaches and people that I'm in conversation with that are just like, oh yeah, girlfriend, like I'm getting hit with the hard stuff too. Like I got stuff going on with my husband. I've got stuff going on with like mental health. He's struggling. I'm struggling. We're struggling, like XYZ, just life feels heavy. Life feels hard, like kids, jobs, finances, health, all the things, right? Like, and my my stepsister almost got bit by a rattlesnake today. You know, it's just like, I swear there's like something in the air. It's fine. But I just, so I wanted to come on here today to one, let you know that I'm struggling too a little, and it's okay. It's okay to struggle. And two, I wanted to share, I don't know how to say this. Sometimes I feel like Bryn is her strongest self when she is going through adversity. And I say that because I really truly think that sometimes when we're going through something hard, we forget all the fluff. Like all the fluff really doesn't matter. And it's just, it's boiled down to, okay, what matters? What really, really matters in this moment? And like, you give me pregnancy, like I can rock it, and I can totally rock it. And you give me a newborn, I can rock it. I can totally rock it, right? You give me a baby who doesn't really sleep through the night, okay, I can deal with that too, right? You give me a struggle with betrayal trauma, and okay, cool, I'll still make my business grow during those trials. You give me COVID, all right, cool, we'll hit premiere as a Beachbody team for the first time ever, right? Like I really truly think that Bryn shines in adversity. For those of you, I just allowed a couple people back on, Jess and Laura. I'm just sharing. Ellie drank bleach today. So sharing a little bit about that. So you might want to go back and watch the recording, so I don't have to repeat myself for the recording, friends. But yeah, just talking about when to keep showing up when life feels heavy and hard, right? So, and I've really tried to reflect about like, okay, what is it about like adversity that makes it so Bryn can continue to show up? And I'm talking in the third person. I don't know why, whatever, we're just going to roll with it, right? Like, why can I continue to show up in these hard moments? And I think the one huge piece of it is it really helps me boil down to what I already referenced, is what is absolutely essential in this moment. And like, even today, looking at my calendar, okay, like we got home from the emergency room today. She's fine. I'm fine. What really, really needs to happen today? Well, I made a date with my kids to play games, and that can still happen. That's going to still happen. Okay, great. It's going to happen. I told my people that I was going to do a nutrition bootcamp call with them. And does it really bless and help me to forget myself and go to work? Yes, it does. Does it help me to go help other people? Yes, it does. Okay, then that's got to happen too. Okay, well, what else is on your calendar today? Can you do those things still? Or are you not going to be in the right mental headspace to actually accomplish it and actually do it? And for me personally, I feel way worse when hey, I'm canceling this today because it was just a rough morning and I just need a personal day type thing. For me, and this is not like shaming anyone who needs a personal day, but for me personally, I have learned that does not help me feel better. That literally, when Blake, okay, what are you going to do? are you going to continue today as if it was a normal day, or what's the alternative? What will you do instead? Right. And if my answer was like, well, I'm going to go get a massage so I can feel a little better, or I'm just going to go like on a walk so I can feel better, or I'm going to like take some time for self-care. Like, I think he probably would have been like, okay, yeah, go do it. Like, I'll hang out with the kids, like whatever. But my other alternative was like, I'm either going to continue things are normal, or I'm going to wallow in the mom guilt of how freaking awful I am as a parent. Right. Still a little raw. It's fine. And he was like, well, okay, then yeah, like there's a clear choice there. Like, no, you need to still continue as if today was normal. And you know what? You can process and you can heal as you help other people, as you forget yourself and go to work. Okay. And so being aware of that for yourself. When life gets hard, what do you need to do? What do you need to do? This is Brynn telling you what she needs to do. I need to forget myself and go to work. I need to stop thinking about my own problems, and I need to go serve other people, because I know when I serve others and when I leave myness, I feel better. I feel so much better. And all of those times that I like shared, you know, like I'm pregnant, I'm forgetting myself and going to work. I've got a newborn, I'm forgetting myself, I'm going to work. I have a betrayal trauma thing that I'm working through, I'm forgetting myself and I'm going to work. Like whatever that is in life for you that brings you joy, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Even when life feels hard. And I know it's so easy to like, no, like it's a hard season. Like life is really hard right now. I'm just going to stop everything. And I'm just going to call it a personal day or a personal week or a personal month. Right. But really, we're not healing. We're not making progress towards healing. We're just wallowing. And there's a huge difference between I'm going to sit, I'm going to feel this, I'm going to allow myself to hurt, I'm going to allow myself to feel so that I can heal, and then just wallowing and woe is me and victim mode and meh, right? And that was the other extreme that Brynn was going to go to. It wasn't going to be this healthy place of like, no, yeah, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to process through this. It was either like, no, I'm going to be productive or I'm going to wallow, right? So figuring out what that is for you and how you can sit, heal, progress, and forget yourself and go to work in whatever capacity that looks like for you, right? For me, it's through coaching, through my podcast, through helping others with their health and fitness journey, right? But you guys don't all wear the same hats that I do. Maybe for you, it's going to be, you know what, I'm going to make dinner for my neighbor, or I'm going to go out and pay for someone else's soda that's behind me in the swig line, right? Or I'm going to go whatever it is that fills your cup, right? But I know that one, leaning into what's essential on those days and not canceling on yourself or other people, but trying to truly forget yourself and go to work in the service of others always helps me feel better when I just feel down, especially like on the day of, or like or on the really hard times or the really hard weeks, right? Another thing that I feel like I should share for some reason is one thing that is a part of my job description as a coach is to post on social media every day. And it's like those days where, okay, I'll just be real. Like my husband struggles with an addiction. Okay. And there are really hard days where he like comes forward and like, hey, I messed up again, or like it was whatever, XYZ, all the things. And so it's not just like oh yeah, he told me about this thing like 4 years ago and I had to work through it then, but now it's all sunshine and butterflies. Like we're going through this like all the time still, right? And it's it might be a lifelong struggle. I don't know. But how do I show up on those days that are hard, right? And one thing that was shared with me was, okay, well, what do you need to hear? What do you need to hear? And go seek that out in spiritual devotionals, in personal development, in prayer, in talking with friends, in talking with mentors, and talking with therapists, and talking with coaches, and talking with whoever it is that you need to process this stuff through. Okay. Process it, figure it out. What gave you hope? What gave you hope in all of the things that you just did, right? In that personal development, in that spiritual development, in your prayer, in your talking with to about whatever things. Okay, now share it, pay it forward, pass it on, and be that light for someone else, because today might be that really hard day for them too. So I loved that advice because one, it made me really proactive about like, okay, I'm hurting and I want to feel better today, like not tomorrow, like not next week, like I want to feel better today. So what do I do today to feel better? And it made me like actively like, okay, well, I can't control this. I can't, but I can control what I'm feeding my mind, my spirit, my soul with. So where can I find the message that I'm seeking? Go find it, then pass it on and pay it forward so that it can help other people too. And that has really, really blessed and changed my life. Steph said, does anyone else have their camera up because they're crying too? Just me? I love you, Steph. So yeah, one, figure out what's essential on those hard days. Two, forget yourself and go to work in the service of others. And three, Bryn just forgot because she's not really taking notes. It's fine. I'm writing it down now. Essential, just so that I can serving and forget yourself. And then like my brain is like all up in there. Like I don't even know what I just said. So it's fine. There you go. Hopefully it was fine. Good. Oh, hello. Share your struggle with the hope. But again, and with that said, I don't share publicly about my husband's addiction stuff because it's not my story. It's not my place. Right. And so I don't like, hey, my husband messed up again today. Everyone feel bad for me. Right. Like that's not my story to tell. Right. But I can, you know what, this quote really hit me hard today. So can I copy and paste that quote with a picture of my face? Yes, I can. And maybe it'll help somebody else. Right. So I think being tasteful about those types of things is helpful. One, in your own healing, and two, maybe you can pay it forward and help other people too. Allie, Allie said in the chat, I'm there with you. I'm bawling like a baby. Okay. Well, I love you guys. Didn't mean to make you cry. It's fine. But okay. So, with those things said, I feel like there was one more thing that I was going to share that really helps me get through those hard days. Let me think for a second. I'm sorry. I should have taken notes, but it was one of those like, all right, Heavenly Father, like I need your help on this one because I don't really know what I'm supposed to say. But oh, okay. Yeah, this is the last thing that I was going to share. And this is huge. Okay, for healing. And really, truly, everyone, when you're going through something that's hard, everybody needs time to process and grieve and heal. And you know those people that it's like they took like 5 minutes to heal and they're already over it. And then you know those people who hold grudges for years, and they're still not over it, right? We all have to take that time to heal though. And it looks different for every person. And I don't want to shame anyone for like, hey, if it takes you 6 months to grieve the loss of a loved one, like you're a terrible person. Like you just need to grieve faster. Like, please don't misunderstand me. That is not ever what I'm saying. But there's a really, really fabulous resource that I've learned. And it actually, I first heard it. I think I'd heard it in similar ways, but the best concise way I'd ever heard it was, it's from the book, The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. He is the guy who wrote The Miracle Morning, and Miracle Equation is like a follow-up book to The Miracle Morning. And it's all about like believing in yourself, working really hard, and then it creates miracles, right? But he has this very specific chapter about like, he he was in a very terrible car accident and was told he would never be able to walk again. And I feel like I've shared this story before on a nutrition bootcamp call, but if I have, forgive me. And if you're hearing it again, congratulations, because it's a good one. But he was in a car accident, and he was told he would never be able to walk again. And he, he was really happy and optimistic and whatever, and all the things. And the nurses were like concerned about him. And they were like, they pulled his dad aside and were like, okay, we really need you to talk to Hal, because we don't think he really grasps and understands. He's not going to walk again. Like, and he's not going through the normal grieving things that we normally see patients, grieve through when they're told they're going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. So like, we need you to tell him so that he truly understands this here and now when he's in the hospital, and we can monitor him and we can like help him with his mental health. And like, we have a whole bunch of resources, so he's not hit really hard with this as soon as he gets home and he's grieving at home where no one's watching him. And then he like chooses to take his own life with, suicide or whatever. So like, please make sure he understands, like, he's not going to be able to walk again. We're concerned that he's not grieving. Right. And so his dad did. His dad like pulled him aside and like, Hal, like, I don't think you understand. Like, you're not going to be able to walk again. And he like told him what the doctors told him. And Hal really listened. He really took it to heart and was like, man, am I not grieving like enough? Am I? But he shared with his dad, like, no, Dad, like, I get it. I understand that I'm not going to be able to walk again. But the difference is, he had been working for years on a little 5-minute training that his work had taught him, that, when things just don't go your way, you literally set a timer for 5 minutes and you just allow yourself to be mad, to cry, to scream, to punch your pillow, to pray and scream at God, to whatever it is that you need to do, right? To heal and to get it out. And then when your timer is off, you say 3 powerful words: can't change it. Can't change it. Right. And so he had been working for years on this 5-minute exercise. Like, anytime anything was going his way, he's feeling angry, he's feeling disappointed, he's feeling depressed, he's feeling whatever, all these negative emotions. All right, 5 minutes, I get to feel it. I get to really, right, just like feel it. And then, okay, timer's going off. Can't change it. Time to move on. Right. And so he said it was like really hard. Like, the first time he started doing it like 5 minutes was like not enough, but he kept trying. He kept practicing. He kept practicing. He kept practicing. And when this car accident happened, it was like 2 or 3 years later of him practicing this. And he was able to process his grief very quickly and then say those 3 words: can't change it. I've been in a car accident. I will not be able to walk again. So I'm going to be, and these are his words, I am going to be the happiest person in a wheelchair that there ever was. And that's what he embraced as his new identity. You know what? I'm just going to be the happiest person in a wheelchair that there ever was. Can't change it. Right. And spoiler alert, he can walk. Right. He can walk. He embraced this new way of life. He was able to take his first step before he even got discharged from the hospital, which they didn't even think he would be able to walk ever again. And anyways, his story is amazing. He's amazing. I highly suggest that book. But he shares of several other people who've adopted this philosophy of just implementing those 3 words, like, can't change it. And he shared a story of a woman who heard him sharing this story, and she didn't know that she had just been holding on so hard to her father's death. He died prematurely. She was really mad and hurt and upset about it. And she didn't realize like how much she was holding on to it. And then when she heard those 3 words and just implemented them in her own life, you know what? I can't change it. He's gone. It sucks. It hurts. It's hard, but where can I go from here? What kind of life does he want me to live? Because I can guarantee he doesn't want me to just like be sitting here missing him all the time. He wants me to live a certain life. And how can I be that person that he wants me to be and move on from this grief, right? And in the case with Ellie, with me today, I can't change it. Can I learn from it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. You better believe the next time one of my kids poop in the tub, I will clean out the tub with bleach. I will clean all the toys with bleach, and then I will rinse them off immediately. I will not leave them in the tub to be cleaned later. I will do it immediately so that I don't have another morning like today where I forget that there's still bleach water in there when I put my kid in the tub. It's fine. We're fine. Okay. So can I learn from it? Absolutely. But can I change it? No. One of my favorite quotes that really stuck with me from the very beginning, it was in my high school on the door, and it said, you can't go back and change anything, but you can go forward and change everything. Okay. I can't go back and change that, but I can go forward. I can learn from it. And what can I do today? Is it going to serve myself? Is it going to serve my customers and coaches? Is it going to serve my husband? Is it going to serve my kids for me to just be a mopey mom all day thinking about how terrible I am? No, that's not going to help anyone, especially not me, right? And if I'm in this headspace of like mopey, woe is me, I'm just so awful, then one, I'm not healing. Two, I'm not helping anyone. Three, I'm just going to be an even worse mom because I'm over here in the corner rocking back and forth and sucking my thumb, essentially, right? Not really, but you get my drift, right? So that just further proves that I'm a terrible mom, because not only did I give my child bleach this morning, but then I spent the whole day wallowing in my room, not doing anything to be helpful or kind to anyone, right? And again, I want to tread lightly on that, but like, if you just need a personal day to I just need to be by myself, like that, you do you, boo. Okay. But for me, that would not be helpful. That would not be helpful at all. And so I opted, nope, we're just going to pretend like it's a normal day. Is it going to feel a little harder than normal to act normal? Yeah, it is. Is it going to be a little harder to find that silver lining because I'm fighting this mean voice in my head that just tells me how awful I am? Yes, it is. It's going to be a little harder, right? But can I do it? Yeah. Yep. Because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? Okay. Last quote I want to leave you with, and then I will, we can pause the recording, is, this was actually from a few days ago, but it says, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. And that is from Stephen Covey, right? And I feel like there's so many quotes around that, right? Like, you can't choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you act, like react to it, right? Like all those types of, I mean, there's a million quotes about that concept, right? You can't choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you act and how you react to it. Okay. So remember what's essential on those hard days. Remember to lose yourself in the service of others. Remember to share your struggle with hope and do it in a tasteful, tactful way when there is hope in your story. And just remember, can't change it. So what can you change? What can you control? How can you go forward? How can you progress? Okay. And what can you change? And just that prayer of serenity, right? Like, God, help me, bless me with this courage to accept the things I cannot change, wisdom to know, what is it? Help me, someone who knows it. The prayer of serenity. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I love that quote. That was by my bed growing up. I'll say it one more time since I actually remembered it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Right? So may God grant you serenity today and every day. You're amazing, and I love you. And if you're on the recording, I'll see you later. My worst fear is that someone's going to report me to DCFS. I promise I'm a good mother. I just make a lot of mistakes. Okay. Anyways, I love you. Bye, recording friends. I'll see you next week. And if you're on live, stay on live. We'll chat for a sec.